Good morning. April 18th, Monday. Day after Easter, Benny, huh?
Day after Easter. It's a chilly day.
Yep.
Chilly day today.
Frost on some things in the shade. Supposed to get up to 57 though.
Today?
Yep. I don't see a cloud in the sky, bro. Benny, nice walkway, bro.
Thanks, bro.
He's just got to finish up some of the small cuts to close the deal on the walkway. We got to finish up this landing. Then we're going to do this landing right here. And unfortunately, for this job, we're going to have to call that a stop for now. Simply because we need more wall block. Need more wall block to finish the edge along the mulch bed. And we need more wall block to finish over here. I was a little short on my estimate for what I needed to finish. I'm going to be buying another pallet, and once that comes in, we'll be able to come here and finish up this job. So today's going to be our last day till we get that material in. Our customer's also interested in building a set of stairs back here with the same steps that we use in the front, and then also maybe a little wall, which is another day, another video. But we have 2 extra steps from the front, so those will be used in that back staircase install if they decide to go with it. We're just going to try to get Ben's walkway and 2 landings done and leave the job site nice and clean for the customer till we come back. Let's get into it. And this is a trick I actually had mentioned in a video before, but I figured I'd show you guys that this is a pretty normal sized paver, about 2 3/8 inches, and it's pretty much the exact same height as this level, if you can see that. And it's a good way to gauge where you are just while you're setting up the screed pipes. So like this right here, you can see the level is a little bit higher than the step. And that's something that we want to account for about 1/4 inch of compaction. The problem with setting your screed rails to the same height as the step or the grade that you're going to be is that once you compact it, or once it settles in its lifetime, a few years of being laid, pretty much every hardscape installation is going to settle about 1/4 inch. So if you have walls on each side in a step, what's going to happen is it's all going to settle in the middle and it's going to hold on to water. So we need to make sure that we're above our height that we need to be to account for compaction. Sometimes I get questions on what I'm using for bedding sand, and this is what it is. It's 3/8 crushed stone with a lot of 1/4 inch crushed stone pieces in it. And it's just a clean aggregate for water to flow through freely. We stopped using sand 3.5 years ago, and we stopped using stone dust way back 5-6 years ago. Stone dust is no good. Walkway is just a tad under 4 feet. Can't get the level in between, so I gotta go at an angle. But it works. Definitely a little bit chilly this morning, guys. We got some ice. All right. Pull our screed rails out. Now we gotta fill in the screed rail channels. Benny, it looks great, dude. You're an all-star.
Thanks, bro.
You know what I mean?
Doing what I can.
You're doing what you know, and you know what you do. Alright guys, so if you look, that's what we want. It's a little bit above the step so that we can hammer it down. And once it's hammered and compacted, that will be our finished height, and it'll be level with the step, which is what you want. If you make it too low and you end up having to lift it up, then what is really happening is your pavers, before that, your main pavers are actually lower than your step, which will end up holding water and creating a puddle. So make sure you set your pavers high and account for compaction. Looks good. He's a professional. Wow. Alright, so you guys see me lay this out. We're laying these pavers out at a 45-degree angle for the joint lines instead of straight. We're doing the border just on the sides here. So you saw me lay it out with the level, and I use a nice red crayon pencil you can get from Home Depot. Where's that thing? There it is. So these are the pencils I use. Red lead, Home Depot pencil. I don't know if any of you guys out there are watching try to make the marks with a regular carpenter pencil, and what happens with that is when you go to score the line with the cutoff saw, it blows all the lead away and it erases your line. The advantage with this red crayon pencil is that once it's applied to the concrete, it stays. Even with water, if you're cutting with water, the line stays for you to make sure you get a nice accurate cut. I'm going to score these two lines on each side for the border, and then cut them. Get the cuts out of the way. We'll put our border pieces in, and then after that, we have to make our cuts that come up to the back of these steps. So that's the next move. Do some cutting. Benny, you got the dogs barking over here. You guys hear that? One of them really howls. Anyway, we're on to doing some cutting. Ben's got his sides for the border marked out and ready, and so do I. So we're going to score the lines. When I say we, I'm going to cut this time. Benny cut his walkway the other day, and I'm itching to cut some pavers, so I'm going to cut. Once everything's scored, he's going to give me some water while I'm cutting, and then we'll cut all these sides, wash everything down, and then we can lay in the border and get these two landings done. So let's get to cutting. Lines are scored, everything's washed down. When we score the lines, we do it without water just because it gets everything pretty pasty. So we'll score the lines dry, wash everything down, and what helps with doing that, especially when you cut with water, is once you wet the surface of everything around that you're going to be overspraying on, it's easier to wash off. If I'm to cut pavers wet, and all the paste and the wet concrete dust that gets splattered onto the pavers behind it or the wall behind it, steps, it's going to stick to the dry concrete and stain it a lot more than if it gets wet paste on a wet surface. Then once you're done cutting, you can use the hose and wash it off, And that's why a lot of times you'll see us cutting with the saw and the hose at once, because after I'm done cutting, or even halfway through cutting, whether it's me or Ben that has the hose or the saw, we can wash down everything around it to make sure that nothing's going to get stained. So it's good to have the hose disconnected from the saw and have that there to start washing everything down. But that's pretty much why we go about it that way. And now we're gonna do the full cuts, get these sides done. Ready, Ben?
Ready.
How do I look, bud?
I think if you're looking down, you might need to put it up a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more.
Is that pointing right at the saw right now?
Actually straight down, but maybe a little bit too much.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sure?
Good.
Okay. Saw cut right on the front of the step. That'd be nice. Benny,
Yeah.
what do you think about this industry?
What do I think about this industry?
Yeah, working in hardscaping. Kind of like it?
Peaceful.
It is peaceful. Especially when you get into a nice property like this where you're working for a week.
Yeah, probably like this 90% of the time. Building stuff.
Yep. So now we're just cleaning the pavers off of all the wet paste from cutting it with water. Make sure the paste doesn't dry up and stain the bricks or the steps, wall block, all that. Now we'll remove the sides that are cut. The pieces like these three right here are pretty usable. Probably try and use those in some of the spots in front of and behind the steps. Anything more than a third of a piece left is usually pretty decent for like when you're doing 45s. You can always put a piece in there somewhere. When you're going straight, you usually don't have that much cuts anyway, so you don't really need to worry about saving much. But with something like this, you know, you have pieces where you only cut off about a third of the piece, so you have 2/3 left, or that might even be a quarter. So you use that somewhere else and try to get as much square footage used as possible. Benny.
Yeah.
You wanna come check out my tool? Why not, Herman?
It's too far forward.
Huh? Hey, what do you think, dude? You think I can make this happen or what?
Dude, I want to see it happen. I want to see this cut, dude. I could see that.
We'll see, bud. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, guys. That's the first shot. This was a gift that my nephews gave me for Christmas. Right there. That worked awesome, Trav and Richie, Sean, Ryder, and Chase. Thank you guys very much. That was the first kind of finesse cut that I had to do with that, and it worked out perfect. So awesome. Ben, what do you think? It worked out pretty good?
It's like a puzzle piece.
Benny's beating me. He's getting his border laid in. I think he had a head start though.
Yeah, I think I did too.
We're cut on the back of this step. Nice. Border's ready to go in. And we're ready for the border over here. This part came out really nice. So it's a double inside border with these Raven color tone Nicolock Old Vienna pavers, and then the out, that's going to be 2 rows of that, and the outer paver is actually the small size in this Stone Ridge by Nicolock. It's called Stone Ridge, and the color blend is Granite City. It's the small pavers in this 3-piece set. These are actually the 3 sizes. You have a large rectangle, a square, and a small rectangle. That's the combination we're using. All the products here are from Nicolock. The wall block is called Kodah, the Kodah Wall system, and the color blend is called Bluestone. And then the steps are from Nicolock as well, and they're called Irregular Steps. And the color blend is called Bluestone. So that's all the products we're using here. Great combination, great products from Nicolock. I'm really impressed. Customer likes them, so thumbs up. We're going to start slapping the border in. Ben, what's better, quality or quantity?
Quality.
Quality. Yep. That's right. Yep. A lot of things are. Yeah. You got it? That's awesome, dude. Gotta love that. Alright, so we're just gonna scribe this really close to the same angle. I'll wait. Benny, you gotta love it when it works the first try, bud. You know that really good feeling? Check this out, bud. Don't break. Then he's just packing up the hose because we're done here until we get more material. That double inside border is just beautiful. This whole walkway was installed by Ben. Didn't do anything on that one. We both built the wall, set the steps. Ben did this landing. I did this landing. And this is where we left off. We are ordering more wall blocks so that we can finish this top landing here and the other sides. And we're also going to be lifting that wall down there up 3 more rows to meet with this height. So more to do on this project, but we're going to be waiting on material. So alright guys, that's it. That's it on this job for this series. We will be back to finish that, and we're also doing a project in the back with more steps like the one we used in the front. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can see when we come back to this job and finish it up, do the project in the back. But as far as what's coming next on the channel, we are headed to a new customer's house to install a backyard patio, about a 650 square foot patio with a concrete block fire pit. Are you looking forward to the next job?
I am.
Yes sir. Patio, not so many steps, we don't have to be walking up the hill so much.
Square patio.
Square patio, not as much cuts too, that's nice. So that's where we're going to next, and I hope you guys join us on that next video. But until then, peace.
Adios.